come out to the marsh today to talk about how I find and identify birds. We'll see the trail, some trees and plants, and some moments where I bring out my inner child. I am in Aurora at a very nice nature reserve that is right in the middle of a neighborhood, but don't let that dissuade you. It's easy to get to, quite large, has lots of variety, and it's a fantastic place to see birds. There is a large marsh here, and I love it in the fall when the reeds are so tall. Marshes are rich in food for birds, and they provide shelter and water. They are an excellent stopover for birds on their spring and fall migrations. So let's go see what we can find. Here is my secret to identifying birds: the Merlin app from Cornell Lab. It's easy to use and it's free with no in-app purchases. First thing to do is to let the app listen. It will give you a list of the birds it can hear at the moment, and the one it is hearing right now is highlighted in yellow. If you can see the bird that is making the sound, you'll be able to identify it. I can hear that house finch singing away, and I can actually see it through all these branches, but it's pretty well hidden, so I haven't been able to get a photo of it yet. Aha, there it is. But before we talk about another way to identify birds, what commonly goes along with birds? Bees, of course. Look at all the pollen stuck to the bee's body. Pollen produces the plant's male reproductive cells, and the bee brings this pollen to fertilize the female cells. This marsh has a couple of duck blinds. It's a nice place to hide to watch nearby ducks and birds. Alright, so I'm going to fly the drone, but I don't want to disturb those ducks, so I'm going to lift off a little further back and then fly quite high over the pond. Well, those ducks were quite unconcerned with the drone, so I brought it down a bit. Nice to see there are Blue Jays out today. Sorry, New York Yankees. Alright, so this one here has 5 needles, so it is a white pun. Let's talk about how to identify a bird that isn't making any sound. Back to the Merlin app, but this time use the photo identification feature. Take a picture of the bird and specify the place and date you saw it, and the app will do its best to identify it. But taking the photo may not be easy without a telephoto lens like I have. Sometimes Merlin will come back with more than one suggestion. Then you'll have to make a judgment for yourself based on the photos and information that Merlin provides for each bird. And one last thing, once you have identified your bird, press this button and Merlin will keep track of all the different types of birds you have identified. My goodness, this is fun. All the birds and the plants and just being out in the wonderful weather. I just love it so much. I'm in some sort of Bermuda Triangle here. I can hear a cardinal, but it seems to be coming from everywhere at the same time. Maybe there's multiple ones. There it is. This cardinal was eating seeds from a red cedar tree, and so was the cedar waxwing. You can see a bit of color in the tail, but the rest of the bird is quite dull in the fall. Mating time is in the spring, and that's when birds put on all their best colors. Don't miss looking for birds during the spring migration in May. Here are all the Aurora trails, and I've been hiking in the Northeast at the David Tomlinson Nature Reserve. There is a free parking lot on Hartwell Way, the Jonathan Bales Parkette. This is the route that I took for about 5.5 kilometers. The 2 duck blinds are here. There's a short walk through the neighborhood here, and the natural playground is here.